welcome to Live Interactive English. I'm Mike.
And I'm Kiki.
Yes, you are, and I'm so glad you're here today on this special, well, we don't know if it's the special day, this special month in a special year, and you can tell them all why.
Because this year's calendar,
yes,
there's an extra day.
Bonus day. Woo, and you don't even have to pay more.
No,
it's free.
No, it's free.
Yeah,
it
there
is
you go.
February 29th.
Thank you, astronomers or people who figure out how things move through space, because that's why we have an extra day, because the Earth moves through space in a slightly weird way.
And thank you, math.
Yes, and thank you, math, especially math. Otherwise, I'm totally lost. But basically, every 4 years, because of the way the Earth moves around the sun, we end up with an extra day. And instead of just saying, hey, everyone, January 1st will be 2 days long now, which would be very confusing and make it really hard to, book a hotel, they add an extra day to the shortest month of the year.
I guess that's only fair to February.
It is fair, and otherwise we would have to figure out what day it is, and now you lose a year. It'd be very confusing. So this is all fine. But what about people who are born on this special weird day? Imagine that. Suddenly next year, there's no birthday for you. Literally, the day is not there. That would be weird.
And I guess it would be hard for people to keep track of their friend or their family's birthday.
Very
because
hard.
It's like, is it?
Is
it your birthday this year?
It's also a good excuse to not, I forgot to buy you a present because I didn't know it was a leap year. Oh, silly me. I'll get you a present in 4 years. That would be nice. No, that wouldn't be nice, but it might happen. So we're going to talk about all the ins and outs, the ups and the downs, the good things and the bad things about February 29th, the calendar's rarest day.
Since leap years were first introduced in 45 BC, a few superstitions and traditions have emerged. In Greece, for instance, many people avoid tying the knot during leap years, believing them to be unlucky. In many Northern European countries, on the other hand, February 29th is considered the only day when women should propose to men, instead of the other way around. In Denmark, if a man turns down a woman's proposal, he has to buy her 12 pairs of gloves. Meanwhile, in Finland, he must give her fabric so she can sew herself a new skirt.
All right, so this is one of those rare or unusual years. We can enjoy this rare or unusual day, February 29th. Now, it comes to us from the Gregorian calendar, which has been used for, 600-700 years, something like that. But we, of course, have had days and years, and the Earth has been orbiting the sun for a lot longer than that. So let's find out about some of the past history of leap years and kind of where they came from. It says, since leap years were first introduced in 45 BC, a few superstitions and traditions have emerged.
Right, and I guess for people in the olden days, they didn't really understand science or math. So to them, adding an extra day is something very unique and different.
Definitely
and rare.
Unusual.
So for certain beliefs and traditions to emerge, I can see that. So what does emerge mean? It's basically to appear or to come out from something, okay? Or come out from behind something. Something can emerge from the trees.
Okay, sure.
So an example sentence would be, Constance emerged from the rain in very wet clothes.
Oh my
So
goodness.
she appeared from the rain and she was all soaked.
Oh, that's not good. Hopefully the sun will emerge from the rain cloud soon and dry her off or something like that.
So let's find out how these traditions or beliefs came to be.
Okay.
In Greece, for instance, many people avoid tying the knot during leap years, believing them to be unlucky. Now, tying the knot is not actually tying the knot.
Oh, not that one.
It means this one, getting married.
Yes. Okay.
So in Greece, they believed during leap years, don't get married.
Interesting, because it's so unusual, this day with the extra years. Don't do anything like getting married or, maybe having a baby or moving your house or something. Do it in a normal year, not one of these weird years.
In many Northern European countries, on the other hand, February 29th is considered the only day when women should propose to men, instead of the other way around.
That's right, because traditionally, especially in the old times, it would be the man who would ask the woman to get married. But on this weird, upside down, crazy, strange day, suddenly the rules were different, and women could go around asking the man that they thought was kind of cute if he would want to get married. Very interesting. And then in Denmark, also Northern Europe, if a man turns down a woman's proposal, he has to buy her 12 pairs of gloves. So there you go, a great time to ask that guy you don't want to marry to get married, because then you, the lady, the smart lady, will now have lots of new gloves. Thank you. Oh, my heart is broken that you didn't marry me, rich guy I don't really like. But thanks for the gloves. That's very nice.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, and when you do that, when you maybe get down on one knee or in some special way, ask someone to marry you, that action is a proposal. His proposal, or his act of asking the person to marry, his proposal was so romantic that she just had to say yes. And she has lots of gloves, so, that's a good reason to say yes.
Meanwhile, in Finland, he must give her fabric so she can sew herself a new skirt.
Wow.
So also in Finland, women can propose on this day.
Okay.
And the man will give her some fabric.
So the smart woman proposes in Denmark, gets the gloves, goes to Finland, proposes to the real guy she likes, and gets herself a new dress. Well, she has to sew the dress, so there's still a bit of work, because sewing is the act of making clothes by taking pieces of cloth and usually using a needle and a thread or a machine called a sewing machine. You're kind of tying that thing together, that cloth together, to give it the shape of a shirt or a pair of pants or a pair of socks or whatever. But if you've ever put a button back onto a shirt using the needle and the thread, that is sewing. For example, my mom sewed the button back onto my coat after it had fallen off. I think that's the only thing I can sew. But hey, it's better than nothing. Let's take a break, everyone, and we'll be back with more about weird February 29th traditions.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。我们今天要来看看关于闰年的一些迷信和传统。在希腊，许多人避免在闰年结婚，认为闰年不吉利。那另外，在许多北欧国家，2月29日被认为是唯一一天女性可以向男性来求婚，而不是相反的情况。那在丹麦呢，如果一名男子拒绝了女子的求婚，得买12双手套给她哦。那在芬兰，男方则是必须送女方布料，好让她能够为自己缝一条新的裙子。看到单字 emerge， 它是动词，表示出现、浮现，它也有形成啊、兴起的意思。那么 proposal 在这边是当求婚来解释，它也有提议的意思。那它的动词 propose 就可以表达向什么求婚，或是指提出、提议。再看到 sew S-E-W， 在这边当动词，它表示缝制、缝补。Mike 老师有提到 sewing machine， 那就是指缝纫机咯。好，那这边2个重点，我们进入文法时间。好，我们来看第一个重点是动词 consider 可以表示认为、将什么视为。那主动用法是 consider 某人或某事物 后面可以接 to be， 再加名词或形容词，表达认为某人或某事物是怎么样的。那 to be 可以省略。例如 He considers himself to be a genius， 或者是 He considers himself a genius， 他认为自己是个天才。看到被动用法则是某人或某事物加上 be considered， 再加名词或形容词，这时候可以表达某人或某事物被视为怎么样。像 Black cats are considered unlucky in some cultures， 在某些文化中，黑猫被认为不吉利。那第二重点是 the other way around， 表示以相反的方式，反过来，恰恰相反地。那这个片语会接在某个陈述之后，用来表示相反或是对调的情况。例如I thought Jake wanted to break up with his girlfriend, but it was actually the other way around. 我以为 Jake 想跟他女朋友分手，但事实啊，恰恰相反。好，接回到课文中。
People who are born on February 29th are known as leaplings, and there are over 4 million of these people alive today. There is even an official group called the Honor Society of Leap Year Day Babies, which only they are permitted to join. If they fancy a birthday party, leaplings can celebrate their special day in the twin cities of Anthony, Texas, and Anthony, New Mexico, which call themselves the joint leap year capitals of the world. But whatever you decide to do on February 29th, at least you now know why we have this peculiar extra day.
All right, we are back with more about February 29th. We learned about some of the ancient and still followed traditions and customs about leap years. You don't get married in Greece. You get a lot of free gloves in Denmark. So there's some interesting things around it. Here's something that would actually affect people in their daily lives all around the world. People who are born on February 29th are known as leaplings, because to leap is to jump, so these are leaplings. That's not a baby kangaroo. It's someone who was born on February 29th. If you meet someone like that, you can say, oh, you're a leapling, a person born on that leap year day of February 29th. And there are over 4 million of these people alive today.
And it's pretty cool that they have their own name.
I think they should. That's very cool, yeah.
There is even an official group called the Honor Society of Leap Year Day Babies.
Okay, the HSLYDB.
Which only they are permitted to join.
So even if you're a fan, even if you were born on February 28th, right before midnight or March, nope. Sorry, you gotta be one of those February 29th leapling babies. That's the only way they let you join this club or permit you to join this club. To permit is to let. Basically, someone asks you, hey, can I? May I? Do you mind if I? And you say, oh, yeah, go ahead. Sure, feel free. Make yourself at home. I am permitting you to do that. Most schools, if you want to go to the bathroom in the middle of your class, you put up your hand and say, teacher, can I go to the bathroom? And they say, yeah, go. Just come back afterwards. They are permitting you. They are letting you, instead of saying no, which they could, they're saying yes. She permitted him to eat the cake. It was a brand new cake just out of the oven. He was like, oh, can I have a piece? Okay, have a little bit. You are a leapling and it is your birthday, so you can have some cake. If, that's the leaplings, if they fancy a birthday party, leaplings can celebrate their special day in the twin cities of Anthony, Texas and Anthony, New Mexico, which call themselves the joint leap year capitals of the world. It's not full of people born on this day, but it is kind of a special place where you can go and celebrate your special day as a leapling.
But whatever you decide to do on February 29th, at least you now know why we have this peculiar extra day.
It is pretty peculiar.
So it is peculiar. And what is peculiar? It's basically something that's unusual or strange, and it can also describe somebody's characteristics or even something or a group. Okay, so an example sentence would be, the building had a very peculiar design. So the look of the building looks really unique and kind of strange.
Strange, unusual, but not usually in a scary way, more in kind of an interesting way. So there you go. All right, here's our what do you think question. Will you, you're not a leapling, I'm not a leapling, but will you do anything special this year on February 29th?
Maybe I'll try to get into that honor society.
Ooh, but I think you'd have to show them like an ID card or a birth certificate, or you can't just say, oh yeah, believe me, February 29th. Oh yeah, that's me.
I really want to find out what happens.
Maybe you can find a friend who was born on that day and they can tell you all
And then
that.
I'll go into disguise as my friend.
That might work, but you might also want to try it 4 years from now and come up with a slightly safer plan. Yeah. You don't want the leaplings to be mad at you. Ooh, they get really angry every 4 years. All right, guys, thanks for joining us. If there are any leaplings out there, you're amazing and happy birthday, and we'll see you in 4 years. Until then, take care, everyone, and bye-bye.
2月29日出生的人被称作 Liebling， 就是指闰年出生的人。那么课文提到说有一个正式团体叫做 Honor Society of Leap Year Day Babies， 闰年闰日宝宝荣誉协会，这只有闰年宝宝可以加入哦。那如果他们想要举办生日派对，闰年出生的人就可以在德州安东尼市和新墨西哥州安东尼市这2个城市来庆祝这个独特额外的日子。这2个城市自称为是世界联合闰年之都。好，我们来看看单字 permit， 它是动词，表示准许、允许。那么 peculiar， 它是形容词，形容独特的、特有的或是古怪的、不寻常的。那课文最后写到说，无论你决定要在2月29日做什么，至少现在你知道为什么会有这个独特的额外一天了。那这边有一个重点，我们要进入文法时间。这边我们来学习 whatever 主词加动词的用法。whatever 可以用来引导让步副词子句，表达无论什么、不管什么，这时候相当于 no matter what。例如 whatever he says, don't believe him， 也可以说 no matter what he says, don't believe him， 无论他说什么都不要相信他。好啦，那么以上的讲解，同学别走开，马上回来哦。
Since leap years were first introduced in 45 BC, a few superstitions and traditions have emerged. In Greece, for instance, many people avoid tying the knot during leap years, believing them to be unlucky. In many northern European countries, on the other hand, February 29th is considered the only day when women should propose to men, instead of the other way around. In Denmark, if a man turns down a woman's proposal, he has to buy her 12 pairs of gloves. Meanwhile, in Finland, he must give her fabric so she can sew herself a new skirt. People who are born on February 29th are known as leaplings, and there are over 4 million of these people alive today. There is even an official group called the Honor Society of Leap Year Day Babies, which only they are permitted to join. If they fancy a birthday party, Leaplings can celebrate their special day in the twin cities of Anthony, Texas, and Anthony, New Mexico, which call themselves the joint leap year capitals of the world. But whatever you decide to do on February 29th, at least you now know why we have this peculiar extra day.
Hey, 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 it's KiWi on the street. I'm Kiki.
And I'm Winnie. Kiki, I feel like playing a game today.
What game do you want to play today?
I feel like playing Vocab Sort Out.
Vocab Sort Out? What is that?
So, each contestant will have some words, and now they will have to sort these words into 2 categories. So today we have angry and happy. So which word goes into which category?
Okay, so they have to see which group it belongs to?
Exactly.
All right, then let's go and sort some words.
Okay.
好，crabby 应该是不好的，所以的 angry。
Oh, okay.
Furious 也是不好的。
Okay.
Angry, rage 就是生气也是不好的。Annoyed 也好像都是一样的。
Okay.
Delighted 是 like 开心，所以应该是在这边。
Okay.
Content, ecstatic 所以也是在这边。Joyful, joy 也是开心的。
So, good job. Let's work on our vocabulary. So, we know that there are different ways of saying I'm angry. Okay, we have different ways of phrasing it. We have crabby, and that might mean maybe you woke up on the wrong side of the bed and you're just feeling crabby. Or you could even say, I'm feeling annoyed with you right now. Maybe someone is doing something that is annoying you. Then we also have words to describe happy. You could say, I am very content. That means you're just right. And let's not confuse content with content because the emphasis definitely changes the meaning. Content means something else. Content means you're happy. You're just right. Then we also have words like ecstatic. You are so happy and excited for something that happened to you, and you are ecstatic. It makes you really excited. Okay, so these are some words that can expand your vocabulary. That's all we have for today. KiWi later.